The media is no longer being taken as seriously as it once did, and I think it's a lot better that way. I don't have anything against Ian Rapaport personally, at least nothing that I could think of. But still, this is a situation that further highlights that you can't, like, a lot of the stuff they put out isn't always the truth, and then also who knows what agendas might be behind the scenes causing them to put out certain stories. But either way, Ian Rapaport had reported that J.K. Dobbins was not going to be ready for week 1. Like the exact post says from NFL Now, Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins is no sure thing for week 1. He hasn't had any setbacks, but his knee injury was a serious one, and Baltimore has no incentive to rush him back. They protected themselves with the veteran Mike Davis regardless. I don't like the fact that with that statement they ignored Gus Edwards. Because I want to know. I haven't gotten around to checking. I gotta double check. Like, what's the status on Gus Edwards and his recovery? But that's something I'd be more interested in than Mike Davis. No offense, but we'll see. But then also, even if that source turned out to be true and the Ravens behind the scenes are saying they don't want to rush him back, that's a good thing, obviously, because you don't need to rush him back. But at the same time, I'm like, even if they put him back in immediately, their ultimate plan is probably to just still try to force Lamar to be the leading rusher, which I don't think that should even be an option, because I think J.K. Dobbins could be a guy to get 1,200 yards. I'm gonna get into that in a second, but J.K. responded to that and said, "Okay, so I'm tired of being quiet. Come to me for your source, because I might not even go on PUP because that's how good my rehab is going, and I'm damn sure going to be ready for week 1." I'm more inclined to believe JK on this, obviously. He would know his body better than Ian Rapaport or Ian Rapaport's sources. But Pat McAfee was doing a live stream where they were kind of trolling him a bit, kind of trolling Ian Rapaport a bit, saying that JK dunked on him or whatever. And Ian Rapaport's response was just basically saying, "I very much trust my source." So, I mean, it's he say, she said, I guess, but we'll know for sure week 1. I think JK will be there week 1. I don't know if there's really a rush. I don't know if there really needs to be a rush. I also, somebody in the comments, let me know what's the status on Gus Edwards, because I forgot to check. I'm probably gonna check as soon as I finish recording this, but I'm actually curious what's up with that. But does the exact running back matter on the team if they still plan on trying to force Lamar to be the leading rusher when he doesn't need to be? Honestly, I don't think it does. But that's the problem. You have talented running backs that when we may never see their full potential, because Greg Roman only knows how to create a running scheme that runs through the quarterback, instead of instead of straying away from that over time. Because at this point, if you cut Lamar's rushes down significantly, and let's say he went from 1,000-yard rushing seasons to just 200 yard rushing seasons, Lamar would still be just fine. It would still work out in the team's favor, because other teams would be too scared that at any moment Lamar could take off running, which is always gonna allow any running back that's playing on the team to have an advantage. Which I think played a big role in why in J.K. Dobbins' rookie season he averaged 6 yards a carry, and why Gus Edwards that same year, I believe he averaged 5.5 yards a carry or something like that. I still think when they come back this year, I still think the same thing will apply. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they do pull back how much times Lamar has to rush. Because I liked J.K. Dobbins. I remember I could have sworn a year ago I did a video where I was projecting, I thought J.K. was gonna come out, last season. I thought he was gonna come out and have maybe 1,100-1,200 yards. Obviously that he got injured, so that didn't happen. But I still think even this season that could be possible depending on how things play out. And depending on how to use him, I think they should go all in on him just because why not? But, I mean, it depends because if they stick to what they were doing before, then he wouldn't get 1,200 yards then because at that point, he would have to share too many rushes with Gus Edwards, possibly Mike Davis, and then Lamar. So it would be unlikely that he would. But if they actually, assuming he's like fully 100% ready to go, and this season they actually decide to go all in and give JK the lion's share of rushes, yeah, I think he could be like a better running back than some people are giving him credit for. I think under those circumstances, I think a 1,200 yard season would be possible. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Like, do you guys think that JK will be ready for week 1? And what do you think that if he comes back, what do you think that he'll have for the season as far as yards? Like, do you think he could get 1,000 or do you think he'll be under 1,000?